Hello guys, be here with Lalalandcrafts, and today we're going to be making a very simple, very quick to make shaker card. And for this I'm going to be using the scallop rectangles die, the Starry Night 6x6 paper pack. We're going to be using this paper right here. I'm also going to be using the scallop sentiment labels die. You guys, I use this so much. We're also going to be using the lily pad die and the water lily die. We're also going to be using some solid cardstock, but all of that in the description box below. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for the first part of the card, I have used the scallop stitch dies, and I use the biggest size and the second biggest to make kind of like a window here for our shaker part. I then have here a pattern paper from the Starry Night paper pack. I adore this paper, so I am going to try to recreate this ombre effect with this piece. This piece is 3.5 by 4 7/8, and my acetate piece is also 3.5 by 4 7/8. So I'm gonna set these two aside, and to create that ombre effect, kind of like that paper, I'm going to be using distress oxide tumbled glass and spoon sugar. I'm going to speed through these parts so you don't get bored, and but you'll be able to see what I am doing with the paper. It goes from blue to the pink, and then when they mesh together, when they combine, they make like a lavender kind of purple. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do that. So let's go ahead and get going. Okay, so here is how it turned out, and here is the paper. This one is a little bit darker than this one, but I think it's gonna look okay. And then after that, I have my card base. I have chosen white cardstock, and I know this is not your conventional card size, but it works okay for this one. So it's 5 3/8 by 5 3/8 by 7 5/8. Just fold in half, make sure that it's crisp and nice. We're gonna glue this paper to our card base. These I'm gonna be using my Barely Arts glue, and for this part you don't have to just kind of center it in your paper on your cardstock here. Just make sure that when you add the scallop part, it's like inside of it, you know, so kind of just center it. Now for this part, we're gonna glue our acetate. And for my acetate, I never use wet glue, because if you use wet glue and you shift your acetate a little bit, it's gonna create like a messy situation, and you don't want to deal with that, because then it dries on your acetate and then your acetate is lost. So I'm gonna use double-sided tape or scoring tape. I am gonna be using these strips of foam tape. These are quite thick and I like them because I don't have to add double foam tape. I just add once and it's perfect for my sequins mix or my confetti mix. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add along the edge right here. And I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna add a double here, probably single here and double here, and come back to show you the confetti mix I've created. Okay, so now this part is ready and I have made this mix with some shape sequins, I guess you call these, that I had in my stash. They match my papers, and so I'm gonna go ahead and add them to this middle of my card. And now the shaker part is done. I'm gonna set this aside for now. And I have got these pieces. This is my sentiment that I'm gonna be using. I have the lily pad die and a bunch of lilies here that I cut in different pinks, and I'm gonna set this aside as well. We're gonna add some ink to the edges of these just to add some dimension. You know that if you have seen my work, you know that I love adding little dots to my work. I think it's like my signature move now for these. And I am using these beautiful Marci. So we're gonna go ahead and color her. I am going to speed up through this part. We're gonna color her. We're also going to ink the sides of these, and then we're gonna put our card together. Okay, now that Marci's color, I'm gonna be using picked raspberry and tea dye for this part. Now that every piece is done, now we're gonna put it together, and for this I'm either gonna use wet glue or foam tape. Now for this part, I wanted to add some shimmer to her crown, so I'm using my Wink of Stella shimmer brush for this part. And this is how the card turned out. I absolutely love it. I am totally obsessed with shaker cards. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you also love shaker cards. I'll see you next time.